So I was watching the show this week, and the question occurred to me, if I had to live somewhere in Genoa City, where would I live? And I thought this is a perfect question to pose to all of you, and I think it's kind of interesting. So let's just pretend that for some reason or another, you have business that needs to be conducted in Genoa City. And since you already know all of these people, I mean, clearly everyone in Genoa City is your friend, so you're gonna have to go stay with someone. Who do you stay with? What house do you stay with at? And why? I can't wait to hear your reactions to this because, I mean, I think like, I want to consider it just, let's talk about real estate alone. Let's consider it just on real estate alone. I would have to go with the Chancellor Mansion. I mean, because it's such a beautiful house. I mean, the inside of the house, good Lord, there's so many antiques, there's so much stuff. I would love to get into the Chancellor Mansion and just go through Catherine's drawers. Like, I mean, there's gotta be so much, like, cool jewelry and old antiques and, like, paintings and, like, good Lord, I would love to see her closets. You know, like, I would just love to dig in to the Chancellor Mansion, open up all of the doors. That would be so amazing. And not to mention that outside, I mean, I'm sure that they have beautiful gardens upon gardens. I'm sure they have some kind of like hedge maze. I can just see it in my imagination. And of course they have a pool. I mean, I feel like the Chancellor Mansion has everything that you could possibly want. It's got like, I mean, it's like I think the Chancellor Mansion would be the best place to live and to stay in Genoa City, because also Catherine and Murphy would be the world's greatest hosts. And I mean, there's just so much like history there. And then of course you have like the Abbot Mansion. It's kind of a junior mansion, and Sharon updated it a couple of years ago, so it's not as, you know, it's had some recent remodeling, but it's a nice little mansion. It's kind of got more like of a dark wood sort of feel, and then, you know, you also do have the pool and the pool house, and I'm sure that, I mean, I'm sure that they have a lovely kitchen there, because, you know, May used to cook a lot. Mimi used to cook a lot, and I'm sure too that they have some lovely grounds. I'm sure that Jack has people come in to, you know, to plant flowers and whatnot, so I'm sure that the Abbot Mansion is very beautiful. And then you have the ranch. Now the ranch is spectacular alone because it sort of has this like late 70s, early 80s sort of feel to it. Like, it's very Dallas, you know, you've got the ranch, you've got, I mean, the stables. I mean, the ranch would be a really good place to stay too, because the ranch has like the main house and then the two other houses, but the main house it's still very old inside. Like, it's like got a pink living room. The living room is pink. I think they should update the ranch, personally. But I mean, you just know, I mean, there are beautiful bedrooms upstairs, and I think that the other houses on the property could be good too. The tack house, I've always like wondered why on earth anyone would want to live in the tack house. Like, if you notice in the tack house, there's kind of like a barn door in the back that's just it's hard to believe that Phyllis and Nick lived there. But Sharon and Nick's house I've always thought was very beautiful. They have a kind of a very cool kind of dark, I think they even have like stained glass in that house if I'm remembering correctly, but that would be a really cool house to live in. What else? Well, we've got the condos, you know, we've got like Phyllis's condo, which I've always hated that condo, to be honest with you, and most of the reason why I hate it is because they've got like white vases, like, okay, on the mantle, like, I don't know if it's above a fireplace or whatever, but have you ever noticed those white vases right against a white wall? I just feel like, why white vases against a white wall? It looks horrible. And then they've got these like gold, like weird paintings above it. Just on decor alone, I'm not that into Phyllis's condo. But then you've also got like Michael's. Okay, so Michael's building would be Michael's apartment, Kevin's, and then, you know, Heather's apartment, but who would want to live there? But I could see living, you know, at Michael's house. He's got kind of more of a modern-y sort of thing going on like Techie, and same with Kevin's house. Those would be good places to stay. You've got Neil's apartment. You could stay with Neil. That would be interesting. Or maybe, who knows, maybe you are a Billy's trailer kind of person. Anyway, I've probably babbled on long enough for now, but I just kind of wanted to lay that out there. I think it's interesting. If you had to stay in Genoa City, where would you stay and why? Leave me a comment. I can't wait to hear. I'm sure I've missed some major places, but I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. So leave me a comment.